This week's Torah portion has one of the strangest exchanges maybe in the entire Torah. Jews are slaves. Now remember, for a very long time. And not like slaves like they're working hard and they didn't get a bonus slaves. Slaves like Nazi Germany slaves. Labor camps, death camps, right? Ghettos, like it was horrible. And God shows up, taps Moses and says, go get them out. I am God. It's time. Go tell the Jewish people I am here to redeem them. And he does. Moses goes down and talks to the Jewish people and says, I spoke to God. He's going to take you out and bring you to the promised land. Now, if you were watching the story, what do you think should happen next? Right? I would picture Moses does that. And picture Moses. He's probably like face glowing, beard. You know, he looks probably so godly and stately, and he probably walked into like a camp. Think about Auschwitz. That was probably what the camps looked like back then. And he said, I spoke to God. We're out of here. What should have happened next? Probably the word gets out. People can't believe it. What? We're out of here? Right? It's over. Parents hugging children. You know, kids hugging grandparents. Like, people can't believe it. They're lining up. They're probably crowding around him. When can we leave? Do we leave right now? Do we follow you? Hope, excitement. I don't know. It's probably an amazing moment. What actually happened? Well, Moses came down, said we're out of here, and the Jews didn't even turn around. The verse says, Vayedaber Moshe Cain el bnei Yisrael. He said the words that God told him to the Jewish people, V'lo shamu elosha. But they didn't hear him. They didn't even hear him. They weren't even like, they're like, yeah, thanks. No. Yeah, whatever. They like shrugged and kept on working. Why? So the verse says, Mikotze ruach, from shortness of spirit, u'me'avoda kasha. Why didn't they hear him? Redemption was here. It's because they had shortness of breath, shortness of spirit. So the Emek Davar, a commentator, says, Lo haya lahem panai lehifanos. They didn't even have the space to turn ladavar. They were so overworked. They were so busy. They were so consumed. They were brick, quota. You need a little bit of headspace to hear a guy say redemption. The kotzer ruach, the shortness was they couldn't even digest it. One of the saddest moments probably for Moshe. He shows up. It's time to go. And the Jews, so busy on their day, didn't even have the space to say, wait, we're done. They just kept on working. Now, when you hear this story, you have to understand that the story, all stories in the Bible, but specifically this one, is not just a historical moment. It is a lesson for life. That's why we have Passover. That's why we're supposed to act as if. Because the story of Egypt and Exodus is the story that takes place in everyone's life. And this is the story that I think we're going through right now. You see, all of us want what's called redemption. Redemption is not just we go somewhere, it's we are somewhere. We become something. We want a depth in our relationships to each other, to God, to ourself. We want meaning and purpose. We want success. We want to know we're living the right life. We want to know that our kids are growing up. We want to know that we have purpose. We want life redemption. Individual redemption is a quality of life. And every day there is a voice that comes to us and offers it to us. There's a voice that is in the mouth of our children that says, "Can we spend time?" There is the voice in our spouse that says good morning and wants depth of the conversation. There's the voice of our clients and customers and colleagues and friends, and there's the voice of God that speaks to us and says, let's have a relationship. Every day in front of us is hundreds of opportunities for our ability to have the life that we want. But we can't hear the voice. You know why? Because we're overworked. You see, we live in a world where we're overloaded 24/7. Every second, something to do. And if you're not doing, there's something to watch and see and scroll. Check out someone else's life. Check out what you can buy. Check out what you could become. I need to get. And the minute you have, someone else has more, so you got to get that thing. And every single time, whether it's academics or anything that's going on in your life, there's always the treadmill that moves you faster, that keeps you walking. There's always something to check and look and scroll and comment and like and post. Busy, 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 busy. We live a life where being busy is almost like a value. You're almost more important when you're busier. The more things you have on, the more things you do in any moment. We live a life where this is, by the way, Pharaoh's first move to get the Jews to not think of redemption is to work them. This is the oldest trick in the playbook, and it's still being played on us. All the stuff around us that's deep and meaningful is slow, requires headspace to turn and to listen to, requires real hearing. Everything that means something in our lives that we're going to hold on to at the end of our lives and say it was valuable requires a certain slowness, a certain patience, a certain depth, a certain listening, a certain understanding and paying attention to. That's where greatness is. That's where depth lies. That's where spirituality is. But this world that is so physical throws us thousands of little things at the surface. And it keeps us busy at the surface. Kotzer ruach, we have shortness of spirit. We can't think in depth. We think in shortness. I can answer 15 things, but I can't read for 5 minutes straight. I can talk to 10 people, but I can't stare at someone for more than 5 minutes. I can scroll 100 messages, but I can't hear my kid calling my name at the playground. I can say hello, but to see in your eyes you need me, I don't have that short, move, quick. We live in shortness of breath, of shortness of spirit, because of the work, because of not just making a living. We're not our grandparents. The work now is catching, keeping, doing, going. It was sad for the Jews to not hear Moses. Well, I don't know if it's changed much since. We're still being played by the same trick. This week, if you hear the Moseses in your life, if you hear the child, the spouse, the friend, the family member, the speaker, the rabbi, if you hear the inner voice that comes from a deeper place, if you hear it, listen for it. Don't let the shortness of breath get in the way of our redemption anymore.